Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, fans of Skytear. Welcome to yet another exciting match. I am the commander reporting here for duty, joined by the eloquent gentleman, Eric. Welcome to the game.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. So, today we bring you a very exciting match. We are continuing the Americas Regionals playoffs. Currently we have Timbunn versus Bearcat at the play-in for the playoff, as these two gentlemen finished with an even record, an even strength of schedule, and so after consultation with our Lord and Savior Ricardo, we've determined that these two will play off and then face against Eric in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, so every number exactly tied. For a second, it looked like Bearcat was in 8th place, and then somebody's like, hey, all the numbers are the same, and so he was there just because of alphabetical, and Ricardo's like, yeah, that's not a reason. So they get to play to be the 8th spot. Although, Ryan also confirmed they both get the shards for being in the top cut.
Indeed. So, and of course, as we remind ourselves, the shards awarded for top cut are 3, but because this is the regional qualifier, that is actually multiplied by 50%, and because we round up in Skytear, that means both of these players are earning 5 shards for their work in the qualifier.
Alrighty, so Tim threw away his Takali and his Ixatosk, and Bearcat threw away his Kotlet and his Takali, so no Takali today. I guess people are going for death with these conditions.
Excellent.
So the only difference here is we've got an Ixatosk on one side and a Yami on the other side. So place your bets.
All right. And just as a quick brief pre-game briefing for our viewers, before the show, because this was a mixed map qualifier, we did have a specific map for the Swiss rounds, but in the playoff rounds, if the players disagreed on which map to play on, a coin flip was held, and in that event, the winner of that coin flip gets to select either the map or if they would win the pre-game coin flip. In other words, deciding who would go first or second. So Bearcat won the coin flip, elected to choose the Ashen Pass map, and so after seeing the victory conditions, then Tim having the coin toss victory, so to speak, ended up deciding to go first.
And I think this is just for this one. I think for every other one, the top 8 is going to be Ashen Pass, the semifinals is Tulane, and the finals is Ashen Pass.
Yes.
But here, since it hadn't been determined, Ricardo just made this ruling on the fly, and so I think that's fair.
Yeah, I agree. So, and as a reference point, Tim will be at the top of our screen in the red, Bearcat on the bottom of our screen in the blue. And as Eric pointed out, this is going to be a very similar set of hero lineups here. We have Hokusai, Yami, Nelaklin, and Zakol on one side, Zakol, Ixatosk, Hokusai, and Nelaklin on the other. So, looking at their decks, I am a fan of Tim's deck just because of its name, Punch in the Mouth.
You can never get enough killing, can you?
It's true. I am all about violence, and given that we have double kill on this map and outsiders of the Silent Ambassador, Dark Vigilante, I expect the double kill is a very strong possibility. Also, Bearcat has given us a quick update that apparently he is selecting Ixatosk instead of Kotlik, and Tim let him switch, so we do have that noted already, but thank you for that update, Bearcat. So, with Yami on the field, do you think that Tim will go for kind of the early access opening where you move forward, worship onto somebody, and then skirmish into the dome if he has a fast card? Or does Tim want to stay in the lane, more likely?
I mean, he wants to do damage, but these are not the easiest heroes to just punch through with Yami without Hokusai getting in there first.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, maybe a Hokusai in the middle and Mark Zakol as your first thing if he's going to go for kill. But he might just like try and pile into domes and see if he can get himself a Dark Vigilante or Silent Ambassador. This is one of those games where the order of the tokens for the outsiders is important. Because we've seen many games where Silent Ambassador has been able to neuter a Dark Vigilante, but in this case, Dark Vigilante is going to get to go off first.
Yes, I've definitely watched a number of games where Dark Vigilante spawns, and they're like, hey, I'm in a great position, I can just skirmish in and start attacking someone, and the Silent Ambassador changes that very, very quickly. So that will be interesting to see how the winner of that dome ends up using the Dark Vigilante to kill off people. All right, we'll just zoom out real quick here. See what we had for some mulligans. Looks like nobody mulliganing just yet. Okay, we have a Doom being mulliganed from Bearcat. and an impervious as well.
Impervious actually seems kind of interesting, this thing. I mean, I know the main reason for it is to combo with shield slams and stuff like that, but here, I mean, yes, Hokusai can, but there's no, well, I guess Nalakhan is piercing, so maybe it's less, but I still think against a Yami where there's, 3 attacks incoming at some point, if you can get that impervious down, you can really mess up her attack turn.
Indeed. And we do see that Tim has discarded a charm and actually 2 charms. So Tim is not charming this game. That's not true. Tim is always charming. Who am I trying to
Always charming. And Bearcat, with his getting the guys, got an extra set of hit point guys. So instead of having double characters, he's being fair and only having 1 set of hit points for his guys.
Yes. That would be very easy to win, I think, on this lane if you had double the hit points, given that people don't respawn.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like the preparations are set. Everyone has refilled their hands after the mulligans. Tim is our first player, as we mentioned, so we'll go ahead and see. Double kill, tactician are the victory conditions here, so we'll see if punch in the mouth does indeed punch Bearcat in the mouth, or if the unknown, as Bearcat's deck is called, comes through. I see a lot of good cards from both of them. Do you need their deck lists, by the way?
I don't, and I shouldn't have them because I'm playing
true.
one of them
Good
after
point.
this.
That is a fair point. That is actually completely fair. All right, so we do see a little bit of aggression right off the bat there with Hokusai moving in and doing his Purifying Flame Worship effect right off the bat, going to throw 3 damage on both Zakol and himself. As you mentioned, looks like we are going to mark Zakol.
And that makes that armor go down to 0, so Zakol is definitely a target if he doesn't zip off into a dome. And maybe even if he does.
And a final lead from the deck. All right. Interesting. A little bit risky, too, looking at this deck here. There's a lot of low mana cards there, so Tim taking a bit of a gamble, but...
Yeah. I wonder if the reason not to attack a minion is so that he can't be... so nobody can get next to him? Because it seems like attacking a minion would be better number-wise for you.
Indeed. All right, so looks like we're going for the dome.
And that makes sense. These are very good outsiders to have here.
Yes. All right, so Kotlik is going to summon a pillar down there next to the minions and just go ahead and finish off with a lead. From the hand? Yes, from the hand.
From hand.
Okay.
All righty. So now the question is, did Tim lead from deck because he's going to save his 3-mana card? Or I know he doesn't have very many 3-mana cards in his deck, so maybe he's really going to be in trouble with all these leads.
Yeah, because given the Tactician is on the field, if you can hold off on dying, then you just simply win by 6 control victories. And an excess, and a high number of 3-mana cards will make that a pretty easy job. All right, so we're going to move Nelliclin, though. So Nelliclin is going to come out now. Interesting that the mage doesn't wait to see if someone else is coming out that they can poke down and present themselves as a target before Nelliclin does his activation. So I assume Tim will probably go for control of Dome 2 here. Otherwise, you can just march both of your heroes in there and with a lead guarantee that you get it. As Bearcat. Okay, and a lead from the hand.
So.
Okay.
Looks like he probably has a 3, or he's... So now, how much does Bearcat care?
Well, with the Dark Vigilante going second, or excuse me, going as Control Dome 2 going first, that does definitely make an increased level of importance, I think, on him.
Yep.
Now, the thing is here, with that positioning, Bearcat, if he brings anybody into the dome, except for the hex that is closest to him, Yami will be able to worship on you and teleport into the dome after a move action. So he does need to be careful, because if you park yourself right there, you might avoid the worship action, but move and skirmish, and then a worship will block your blue hero from coming in. So does Bearcat's 3rd hero end up going and contesting the lane alongside Hokusai, perhaps?
Yeah. double Hokusai's pushing in the middle, that would be not their normal MO, but
well,
sometimes.
He did send Zakol in. So Nelliclin's dropping a stone barricade?
Barricade? What does that accomplish?
Well, it does create a pillar there, so perhaps Nelliclin's setting up to use a red or a yellow card. As with a skirmish and an attack, it's unlikely that Zakol will be able to kill him round 1, although that stone barricade is not a blocking element, which means Hokusai can move Mark's skirmish against Nelliclin, and if Bearcat gets high flips, you might just see a dead Nelliclin here.
Right. Because, I mean, if you saved it for when Hokusai, like if Yami comes in and takes one of those spots and you saved it for when Hokusai came in, you could have blocked Hokusai from getting next to you. I know he still gets to do the worship on you.
But it would prevent the follow-up damage, right? Yeah, Nelliclin down to 12 HP after the 2 damage skirmish flip here. And looking through Bearcat's deck, this deck is a deck with the heroes that he's drafted that's going to do some damage. So, is possible to kill heroes. And again, of course, even though double kill is the objective, annihilation, total destruction of all heroes, is still a perfectly valid way to win the game as well.
RG says perfectly valid when he says preferred way.
Reading between the lines, you know me very well. All right, so Yami, speaking of, so Yami is going to teleport in here with that Zakol position. Now, Hokusai will not be able to get in the dome without using both a move and a skirmish here if Tim positions Yami in the hex that's closest to Bearcat's Nexus, which I think would make sense.
I agree.
So, but now Zakol plays a stone barricade, so that's going to mean that Hokusai will have the ability to get in there. Interesting. As now Yami can only teleport onto the hex that is adjacent to the control zone, Nelliclin, and Zakol if she wants to get inside the dome. Oh no, she can
she could be on either one.
Yeah.
She can also be on her own pillar, but yeah, I think this is probably better, forcing Hokusai further in. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say.
Why did that flip do damage? That was a worship action, and he has 1 armor, right? Oh yeah, 1 plus 1.
Yeah, so it's two
right.
2 damage less 1 armor.
Now we're marking, but that Hokusai is not in line of sight, so
Correct.
it still has his armor.
Yep, Hokusai is, I think, one of the few heroes whose passive mark abilities does require line of sight as opposed to being within 3. And a lead from the hand. Okay, so preparing for the possibility that Nelliclin might get dunked on here.
But if so, you still lose.
Right. Yeah, without I don't know. Because now that shield slam throwaway from Bearcat looking a little bit unfortunate because that shield slam could have been a bonus 2 damage here that might have been enough just to secure the Nelliclin kill. So we'll see how this plays out. Gonna move, gonna skirmish against Hokusai. Can't drop another stone pillar as Yami is not a green rune hero, so we're gonna skirmish there. 2 damage brings Nelliclin down to 10. So perhaps we just attack him here? That does more damage. Yep, 2 plus a flip there. Ooh! Nice! 3 damage on the flip there.
Tim had led with a fake card, or a bluff
with Nelliclin,
maybe.
Yeah, that could be a case, yeah. That might be a thing, try to scare Bearcat off, and when Bearcat didn't take the bite, then Tim realized, all right, now I have to actually lead with a 3 card in order to not blow out the dome here. So that is move, skirmish, attack, though, which means we could potentially see a tie dome there if both players led with a 3, which does mean that Bearcat will get the only outsider of this turn. So that being said, we do have a 1. Okay, we do have a 1, so Tim does win by 2 in the lane, kills off 2 minions here, and advances the control token towards Bearcat. None of the minions will move as they're all still within line of sight of the token.
That's true.
Going to respawn some more minions there. And this is the kind of setup where Nantaka would be great because your minions are all spread out. And so you can just send her in. Of course, we do know that Nantaka, Vorhild, Kamaya, Shadris, and all of the new cards are not legal in this tournament. They have been put on suspension until the last chance qualifier, so we will not see any of the new heroes or the new cards throughout this tournament or the November qualifier that takes place next weekend.
So Tim indeed had bluffed with Nalaklan with a charm, getting rid of a third charm, but then he went with Nalaklan's ult. And on the other side, we have Paris Sinkholes leading. So indeed, he's going to win the Silent Ambassador. So Tactician should be tied 1-1.
Yep. And now we'll see what the Silent Ambassador does. So the Silent Ambassador, we'll take a quick look at her abilities now that she's on the board. Silent Ambassador must spawn anywhere adjacent to the dome's perimeter in which she resides. Wormhole allows you to swap a target hero's position with any other hero's position within 4 hexes from the Silent Ambassador, including the Silent Ambassador themselves. They can be used to do the wormhole swapping. Farsight, Predict 2, pretty straightforward. Take a look at 2 cards, decide if you want to keep them or return them to the top of your deck. And then the Stone Storm, which Stone Storm actually would be very useful if the Silent Ambassador gets in range here. Stone Storm allows you to drop a 2x2 AoE within 2 hexes, and then deal 1+ a card flip damage to every hero hit, and apply slow to all the enemy heroes that are hit. So, Silent Ambassador HP coming on board, of course, with double kill. The outsiders can be killed as heroes for the double kill, so as soon as the outsider comes in, we do need to bring their HP online in case that becomes relevant. And now let's see what Bearcat opts to do with the Silent Ambassador. Looks like we're going to go for a move action here first. Move the Silent Ambassador 3. Are we going to perhaps swap Hokusai with Nalaklan and kill him? Or are we just going to swap and do a little bit of light damage? You could Stone Storm Yami and Nalaklan to deal light damage. You can't kill either of them. And then swap Hokusai with Yami and bring her out into the field, perhaps? Although that wouldn't do anything. That's 3 actions. I don't know.
You could also swap Hokusai with Zakol and then Stone Storm all 3 of them if you wanted to get triple slow.
That is a good point. Although it looks like we are going to see just the Stone Storm on both of them there. So Yami will take 2 damage. Nalaklan will take 3 damage from the Stone Storm. So that's 2 actions. The third action, possibly just a predict or maybe a swap. Although, given that Nalaklan's there at 2 and Yami's kind of right by 2 heroes, I don't know that you'd want to swap either of them. So maybe you just swap. Maybe you swap Hokusai with the red Hokusai with the Silent Ambassador and just make it so that he has to waste actions to get into range to do anything.
You can also skirmish the Silent Ambassador and go for the kill on Nalaklan if you want to take a chance.
That's true.
Although, if you're going for double kill, that's probably not what you want to do.
Yes.
I don't know. Depends on what your goals are here.
Well, it might be just kill Nalaklan. We're going for the skirmish action, and we are targeting.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, +2 on a flip will kill Nalaklan. But a +1.
Ooh,
So Nalaklan,
+1.
Nalaklan barely survives.
How many times have we seen people at 1 hit point?
Oh, believe me, I had a game against Tape in October Clash that resulted in my Nalaklan being at 1 HP, and then he was able to finish the job. So I've definitely been there before.
And this might be a blessing in disguise, because if he had killed it, he would have gotten the 2 cards, but then you have to throw one away. So this is kind of like saving on cards.
Yeah.
I don't know. Getting people off the map is good, but Tim's always in that tough spot now. If you activate Nalaklan, he's surely going to die, and you're going to lose your ability to activate. Who's he gotten? Zakol this round.
Yes.
But what's more valuable, a Nalaklan activation or Zakol? Because Zakol won't even activate within line of sight of the control point, so he would be wasted.
So it is worth noting, though, that there are pillars on the field, so perhaps if Tim has a Rampant Hatred, he might, and something else, he might use the Flux there, destroy the pillar, and get 5 mana out of Nalaklan before Nalaklan dies.
That's true.
I think that might be.
Nalaklan's great.
All right, well, we are going to see an attack from Nalaklan, so it looks like Nalaklan is going to go down swinging here. Ooh, a 5 damage flip. Very nice. Zakol does take piercing there.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Bearcat does not have a shield slam in his hand.
That seems like a reasonable guess there. And that shield slam would have helped if he hadn't thrown it away during the mulligan phase.
Yep.
Oh no, he threw Impervious away. The Shield Slam came from a flip.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Nelliclin is gonna run away, make it so that Bearcat does have to spend some AP to go after him if he wants the kill. Although you could, I guess, activate Hokusai and then just blow him up with the Purifying Fire.
Right.
Since I don't think Bearcat has any -1s, nope, does not look like it. So the Purifying Flame from Hokusai's worship action is piercing damage, which means Nelliclin has a 0% chance of survival if Hokusai worshipped him.
So, I mean, yes, the damage is nice, but I hope he's going to use some mana. Otherwise, I don't know that this was worth activating Nelliclin at the beginning.
Yeah, especially given that you're in line of sight of pillars. You could use the worship action, and
he is going to lead from. He's just taunting him. He's
okay.
just daring him.
Okay, this is a loaded bait. It looks like here. He can't. Does Tim have perhaps like a Nourish play or something that might come out? No. I have no idea what the plan is here. But, well, let's see. Hokusai is going to skirmish. Interesting. So Hokusai...
Yes.
He's
going to save the mark for Yami. That's not the worst, right?
No. Blow up her armor and deal a little bit of light damage. Yep, there it is.
Oh, there's the Impervious on the other foot.
Yep.
That could be... Well, I mean, still the worship's going to kill him, but...
yes.
That's going to... Oh, Granite Skin in response.
Okay. All right, so nice.
3.
Yes. So Impervious gives the target hero 2 armor, so Nelliclin gets 2 armor right now. But the Granite Skin response, Granite Skin gives you +1 armor and then gives you skirmish damage equal to the amount of armor that you have. So Hokusai now has 3 armor, so this is going to be a +3 on the skirmish flip, which means that Nelliclin's 2 armor isn't going to matter. Oh, a +3 flip there.
Wouldn't have done anything anyway.
Didn't even matter. That does probably feel bad, though, as Bearcat. You'd have liked to have used that probably on the Yami attack or worship there, but that is definitely a dead Nelliclin. So
Hokusai has reserved 2 actions left.
Zakol will spawn in exhausted as a result, since Nelliclin did make his move this turn.
Hokusai is doing the lead.
Okay. And that's effective because, as you mentioned, Zakol is not going to be able to influence any control points during this round.
Bearcat gets to go last, so Ixatos is probably going last, comes out of the dome, kills a minion, jumps back in the dome, and wins the outsider. I think that's...
Yep.
And make another pillar for fun, right?
Absolutely.
So... Up there, Yami. If Yami and Hokusai can kill Zakol, that's a thing, but that's a tall order from 7.
Yeah, well, we did see the, it looks like the attack action there, dealing 2 damage to Yami from Hokusai, so that I think will be his final action. Skirmish to kill Nelliclin, lead from the hand, and then an attack against Yami.
So yeah, so if you go with... Hokusai, you can get in the dome and make the negative armor, but then Zakol could just respond by leaving the dome and getting rid of the negative armor, right?
Yes. So
I think you got to do that because Yami's still probably better at beating up some minions and putting some pressure on this middle lane.
Well, remember, Yami is slowed from the Stone Storm of the Silent Ambassador, so she won't be able to walk her way through minions here.
Good point. Yami is casting a Doom. I'm assuming this is at the end of Hokusai's turn?
Yes.
We're just trying to get rid of mana options, I guess, for Zakol?
Yes.
Wait. Did Hokusai play Doom first? Is that what happened? And in response, Yami played Doom?
Let me zoom out here real fast to check. Yeah, Hokusai did play Doom, and then Yami did respond with a Doom as well, it looks like. So we have 2 Dooms on the stack. And... going to wait to see, do we have anything else before we flip for mana removal here? Doesn't look like it. No further responses? Anybody? right, so Doom will prevent both of them from healing. Not that that's an issue, but then Doom does also force you to flip the top card of your deck onto the hero that was targeted by Doom, so that will drain some mana. Hokusai, of course, is out of mana, so I assume that Yami is probably using Doom on Ishitosk in order to deny the mana from any plays there. And then I assume that Hokusai must be dooming Yami to prevent any kind of a fast play or use of card to remove the slow condition from her. Tim pinged Yami, but I'm not entirely certain why. We'll just go for a bit of an aerial view here real quick while the... Okay. Guess that was all sorted out. Perhaps maybe Doom was flipped as a result of Hokusai, or...
Oh, maybe Yami played Doom and Hokusai flipped his Doom,
okay.
Maybe?
That might be of what the end result was there. I think that might be how it played out. It threw me off because normally we play the card sideways to show that that was the Doom effect, but...
Right.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
I agree.
All right, so Yami goes ahead with the attack there against Zakol, does deal 3 damage to him. 2 plus 2 is 4, less 1 armor, because as you pointed out last round, Red Hokusai does not have line of sight to blue Zakol, and so therefore does not suffer armor reduction. All right. And Yami is going to worship and then teleport over there.
Get herself out of the dome, so she's pushing lane 1. She's given up the guy.
Yep. And then a lead from the deck.
So now Hokusai can probably kill Zakol with a worship action.
Yes.
So if I am Bearcat, I activate Ixatosk probably, so that if he wants to kill Zakol at that speed, I get a full activation out of my Nalaklan.
Yes.
Because then there's no way for Tim to win or even tie that top dome if
Correct.
Bearcat wants it.
Correct.
Now, at some point, Bearcat has to worry about this middle lane, too.
He does, yeah. That is starting to build up there. You've got 2 heroes plus 5 minions versus 3 minions in Tim's favor there. So Tim is going to have... And plus Yami's lead, whatever that may be. So Bearcat very likely to take some Nexus damage here if he doesn't respond.
And going back to round 1, if Hokusai had done an attack, Bearcat would have 1 less minion at this point.
Yes.
So again, I don't know if that would have opened up a hole. That would have been bad for Tim, but and obviously if he leads for 2 or 3, it would have been the same, so that wouldn't have mattered. But he ended up leading for 1. So if it ends up being a 1 hit point difference, we can look back at that play.
Mm-hmm. Clinton had a question of, did the incorrect Nalaklan token get used?
That's true. We have the red one out there, and it should be the blue one.
Ah, yes. That is a good point. So yes, that is indeed Bearcat's Nalaklan that is alive. But Tim's is the one that is actually dead. All right. We will have to adjust that if it becomes relevant to the game. All right, so we do see a lead from the deck here for Bearcat. And a skirmish. Okay.
Nice. I just thought I meant, yeah, Kotlik. So Kotlik is leading and looks like coming to the middle. So no Silent Ambassador to this round unless Hokusai wants it.
Mm-hmm. All right, so +2 on the skirmish does no damage because Hokusai has 2 armor there, and Kotlik did not destroy any pillars with a worship action beforehand, which is understandable. All right, but, +3 on the minion kill. You hate to see it.
I thought you wanted death and destruction.
I do.
Major minion destruction.
That's fair. There's not even going to be enough to send the poor minions' remains back to their family.
So Hokusai can try and push middle, can go and try and take Dome 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think killing Zakol is the right answer. I think Zakol is going to have a less impactful turn than a Nalaklan would.
Yep. Well, let's see. Oh, well, he is worshipping on Kotlik, so...
Okay, yeah. Start taking damage over there.
I wonder if he's setting up for a potential double kill, perhaps. Well...
That makes sense. Possible. Yep.
3 damage to each of them there. Hokusai down... Red Hokusai down to 11. Blue Kotlik down to 15. So... And he's now
Attack
marked.
a minion and leave. Oh, we got something going on. Skytear Flux has been popped.
Here comes Rampant Hatred. Yes, here comes the Rampant Hatred. So Zakol may not.
+3.
Yep, Zakol may not be able to influence a control point, but he can influence this play.
That's true. Lachlan's death did mean something.
All right, so Rampant Hatred does give you +1 skirmish damage per ally hero within your line of sight, and then you get to take a bonus action. However, Kotlik is going to negate some of this with the response of the Psychic Shield. With the rules update that's coming, that will eventually not be an interaction that matters, but as it stands right now, Psychic Shield does block the damage here, so kneel before me with a +3 means that Kotlik will take 6 - 5 or only 1 damage from the initial skirmish. Now, Kotlik will potentially take... Go ahead.
Should the 1 armor have blocked that damage?
Yes! Oh, yeah, because Kotlik is within line of sight of the pillar, so he would have 2 armor. So the +3 on this run here, this will only deal 5 damage.
No.
Go ahead.
No. So I think he should have been at 15 and then 5 damage. I think we should end up at 10.
Correct.
It looks like they had it off by 1 from the first one.
Correct, because Kotlik gets +1 armor for being within line of sight of a pillar, and then -1 for being marked and in line of sight of Hokusai. So Kotlik should be at 10. Should we probably say something about that?
Probably.
Right. I'll leave that one to you then, because otherwise I'm afraid that it'll get really janky. So Kotlik does take some additional damage there as well from the attack, so that brings him down to 7, but we believe it should be at 8 right now, due to a forgetting of the pillar effect on Kotlik's armor. As Kotlik does net out at +1 armor here, as we mentioned, +1 armor to 2 from the line of sight to the pillar, -1 armor for being line of sight and marked within Red Hokusai. So that's going to be all three characters then from Tim, which means that Zakol does survive this round. Okay, there we go. We do have it adjusted, so Kotlik's HP is back up to 8. So now Zakol does need to activate for Bearcat, Blue Zakol. Bearcat can leave Dome number 2 with Zakol and leave it unchallenged, as there is no way that Tim is able to get in there. I don't believe he has Time Warp that Yami can use. Well, Yami's does not have enough mana to use Time Warp anyways.
So I'm sorry. What was Hokusai's 3 actions then? We obviously worshipped,
skirmish, and then I believe it was just an attack.
Oh, it was an attack on Kotlik, not on a minion. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of attacking, Zakol is going to attack Yami. So that's going to deal 1 damage. It looks like. From the skirmish, so +2 on the flip, -1 armor, 1 damage to her, and that does bring Zakol into the area of the dome as well. Or, excuse me, area of the lane, out of the dome.
The lane, yeah. So it looks like Tim is just like, yeah, I'm not going to win on lane. It looks like double kill is what he's going for, right? I mean, I don't think he's got tactician plans. I don't think he's got Nexus plans. I can't imagine anything except for double kill. Yeah. So. And Bearcat has made it a real possibility by putting them both in lane at the same time. And Hokusai and Yami can deal out a lot of damage if they get an opportunity to. Yeah,
and with Yami's ultimate being a reaction, if Hokusai were to use his Supernova, Yami could then use Kneel Before Me to deal an additional 4 during the resolution there, which likely just ends the game there if it goes off correctly. Although
I believe we saw Yami's ult on a flip earlier, so we'd have to get a reshuffle for that to happen.
Okay, thank you. I did miss that then. So that possibility won't happen. But that being said, Hokusai's Supernova still does deal 4 damage.
Yep.
And in a 2 hex radius from Hokusai's point, so can still do a significant amount of damage to Bearcat's team.
And Zakol has a ult that is a reaction also, I believe, right?
Is Totemic Slam an ult? Yeah, Totemic Slam is a reaction, yeah. So if Zakol moves his way down here, Totemic Slam can be used to deal, quite frankly, a massive amount of damage if the opponent ends near a pillar.
What just happened? Oh, got pushed.
Yeah, speaking of Zakol.
Okay, he threw Yami into the dome because 1 less control. Yep. Okay, so it looks like we're checking on this, and so Bearcat should be winning by a bunch, like 4.
Yep. Well, interestingly, Yami actually had a lead from deck, which is likely going to be a 1 or a 0 then. And since Hokusai led from hand, basically that's going to force Yami's card to go to waste there. And so,
yeah, but if Yami has a 3, if it happens to be one of the ultimates, then no outsider for Bearcat, right?
Yep. Indeed. Okay, so that's going to actually do a massive control swing there. We saw Tim advance the control token by 2 during round 1, but now Bearcat's going to send it flying right back towards Tim's Nexus. So let's go ahead and see, after we spawn minions, the ultimate question here. Did Yami lead with a 3 card? Because if she did, as you mentioned, that's a tie dome. Oh, nope, that's a 0. Okay, so it actually didn't matter too much at all for anything. And of course, there's the 3, the Neliclin ultimate. So that means Dark Vigilante comes out now. So Dark Vigilante, we'll take a look at his ability. Dark Vigilante must spawn adjacent to a tower or a nexus. And the Dark Vigilante is focused about augmenting his skirmish abilities. Sever allows you to do +1 skirmish damage and then take a skirmish action. Skewer allows you to do piercing damage, and that piercing damage persists for his entire activation. So you'll often see players use Skewer first to get all of their actions to have piercing, and then you take a skirmish action after that. Finally, Slash. The skirmish action may damage enemy minions and take a skirmish action. So with the positioning on the board here, I think it's likely that the Dark Vigilante would spawn next to Tim's tower and then just start wailing on Zakol. Or spawn next to Bearcat's Nexus and go out. Actually, Hokusai is down to 11 HP. I think it makes more sense to go and try to bring Hokusai down.
And it's always nice because you can do piercing right away, so that's definite damage on Hokusai, and then that also limits Hokusai's ability to use his own worship action, right?
Yes, because Hokusai's worship action does require him to sacrifice the same amount of HP that he does to the target, and so if your Hokusai is sitting on 3 HP, you're going to think twice about using that Purifying Flame to deal damage.
Why did the Silent Bastard get removed from the map?
Yeah, she stays right there, guys. She's not going anywhere. She was not played. There we go. The Dark Vigilante's coming on. Okay, yep. Okay, so yeah, Hokusai probably about to be in for a bad time. Tim's trying to convince Bearcat to spawn him down there, saying, you've got 2 hexes up here. Come after my Zakol.
So it's a piercing one, a +1/1, and then a regular attack. So it's 3 and 3 flips from 11 life. So that's 8. So with 3 flips, you got to do 8 damage. That's a 3, a 3, and a 2. So that's unlikely, but we are talking about putting Hokusai down to low hit points here.
Did they put the Silent Ambassador in the right place?
I don't think so. Wasn't she in the dome because she killed Neliclin at the end of the round?
I think she was over there, I think is where she was.
I think that's correct.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we'll just put her there. Whoops. Yeah, Silent Ambassador was inside the dome. Unfortunately, the delay on the stream has already caught up to us, so I couldn't see where it was before, but I'm pretty sure that it was adjacent to the control token.
Yeah, that's where she killed Neliclin, so unless somebody pushed her, and I don't think anybody did.
No.
Okay, I'm showing this is a piercing flip.
So this will deal 0+ damage. Ooh, and a +3.
There's the first 3.
We won't see any Totemic Slam plays, but that was still a good use of it there.
All right, now we're down to needing 1, 3, and 1, 2 to say bye-bye to Hokusai.
Yep. +2 on the flip. There we go. So that's going to be another 3 damage after the +1 on the skirmish action there. So now we're going to do a regular attack, and we do need to see a +3, or Hokusai will live to round number 3.
1 hit point. 1 hit point.
2 this time.
2 hit points. Alrighty.
Okay. So Zakol and Hokusai at 2 HP. So at this point, Tim might just actually elect to use Hokusai, grab Zakol, and say, we're going down together.
Well, I think Tim's win condition is double kill.
That's true.
So I'm good with Hokusai going first, but I think his job is to get Kotlik down to a low point so that Yami has a chance to do, or Zakol, one of them has a chance to do the double kill. That's my best guess.
Yeah. So
activating Hokusai first seems the right thing to do. Otherwise, you're not going to get.
Yeah. And
now, if Bearcat draws a shield slam, that's bye-bye Hokusai.
Yep. All right, and we just see a bunch of the cards as they're being cleaned up before we head into round number 3. That's Shield Slam. Oh, boy. Well, hold on. Would it be? No, because Kotlik only has 1 armor right now, right? Because he's marked?
He's marked. That's true.
So
Thank you.
He would,
I forgot about that.
1 HP. 1 HP.
All right. Tim is definitely doing Hokusai. So now what are you doing with him? You can't worship, but that's okay.
You could
mean,
move
you
over.
can.
I mean, you could potentially. Okay, we're going to attack Kotlik. This makes sense. So this will be 2 plus the flip. Ah! Kotlik is going to play the Shield Slam, though. Does he have 2 Shield Slams?
Double Shield Slams. Psychic Shield. Tim wants none of this.
All right, so Shield Slam does deal piercing damage equal to the caster's armor value, which is currently 1. But as we've seen, Psychic Shield, that's going to block up to 5 damage, so no damage there. Kotlik is attacked there with a +3 on the flip, so Kotlik is down to 4 HP. If there's a Supernova, you just simply move over so you're in range, and this is game over.
Unless a Psychic Shield pops up.
That's true.
What did he do?
Looks like a skirmish.
Skirmish, maybe?
Yep, skirmish action.
Looks like he's setting up to do it.
There it is!
There it is!
Kaboom!
Go!
Supernova!
Bearcat's got 4 cards.
Does he have a way to stop this somehow? I don't know how you would stop it with his deck, like a sinkhole maybe?
Psychic Shield, right?
Or Psychic
I think that's
Shield.
the only thing.
Nope. Tim's calling it with the double kill there.
Kill.
All
Wow.
right. Woo! So, Supernova deals 4 damage to everybody within 2 range of Hokusai and deals piercing damage to anybody that's marked. So, not that that really matters here because Kotlik only has 1 armor. But everyone is dead except for the Dark Vigilante, but that doesn't really matter because... so that will be Tim's victory by double kill.
Oh. All right, shall we go talk to him?
I agree. Let's hop in.
Hello, guys. What a game.
Wow. That was exciting.
We love the yo-yo in lane 1 there. I was like, okay, Tim, maybe he's going for Nexus. Maybe he's going for Nexus. Nope. He's still going for blood. He's just planning it out slowly.
Yeah, I have lost to Nexus whenever I focus on damaging, so really wanted to push it forward a little bit so I had a little more time. But yeah, I had the Supernova in my opening hand, and I was like, I think this is my path to victory, so I was just trying to set that up the whole game.
You were correct.
Stayed on task.
Yeah, I just completely forgot about double kill even being an option. I wasn't even worrying about my characters dying because I was thinking, all right, well, when Nelliclin comes in, he'll just be able to come in and clean house.
Yep.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he
Gotta
doesn't
pay
get a chance, yeah.
Yeah, gotta pay attention to the victory conditions.
And we were looking at, because I mean, he could totally have Hokusai to kill Zakol last round. And we're like, no, Nelliclin's going to do way more than Zakol's going to do. But then also we're like, maybe Tim's thinking about double kill. So I mean, there was multiple reasons to leave it as is.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that was a brutal game to watch. There was plenty of violence all around, so I was happy.
Yeah, I was too. I was disappointed at the Psychic Shield on the Rampant Hatred, though.
Yeah, we did see that. Don't worry, though. That won't work in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Once we change the rules.
Well, great playing, guys.
Yep.
Do you have any final thoughts?
No, that was a really fun game. I think that's the first time I've played against Bearcat. Is that right?
It is. That is the first time we played, and good luck against Eric in your next round.
Thanks, I'll need it.
Yeah, see, you won here, but did you win in the long run? Becomes the
I
question.
get to play more Skytear, so I win.
That's fair. That is a fair point.
Yeah, well, thanks for playing.
Yep.
Well, have a good one, guys.
All right. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Bearcat.
On behalf of Bearcat, Eric, Tim, and myself, thank you very much for joining us, and stay tuned for more Skytear content. We'll see you in the next game.
I also have